Small Town Minds.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Small Town Minds, a podcast about anything, everything, and nothing from two guys from a small town in Tennessee. Hey, Braden, what's going on?
Not much, man. Not much. Been enjoying some summer weather. We're getting quite a bit of rain, so
Some hot ass
just
weather. Yeah.
yeah, that too. But we've gotten some much needed rain. Uh, so yeah, just kind of hanging around the house. Uh,
So I tell you, you didn't get floods in your area, right? There was some places that got some pretty bad flooding.
yeah. Nothing here.
Yeah, same here.
But it's kind of hilly here, much like it is there. So.
Mm.
Um, What have you been listening to? You been listening to anything?
Uh, Not really. I just put on a '90s playlist and been listening to just a lot of old singles from just about anything and everything, from obviously grunge and alternative and punk to even the old hip hop stuff from the era, even like stuff like the pop stuff back then. I mean, I just kind of liked it all, mostly. I mean, um, yeah, just sometimes because there's some songs, that you kind of lose touch with. You haven't heard it in a long time. I mean, if they're not like your favorites or you don't own the album or something, you kind of lose a little touch with some of them. So
Hmm?
yeah, it's nice to kind of catch up on them again and just listen to like some of that stuff. Like what's that song? I get knocked down. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not a song. It's not a song I would like probably go listen to, but when I hear it in a playlist, I'm like, oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I know that, kind of stuff. But what about you?
Uh,
Anything?
well, real quick, thought popped in my head. I don't think we've asked this on here. Your, because you mentioned grunge.
Hmm.
Typical question, but I don't think I've ever asked you this. Mount Rushmore grunge bands, alternative Seattle scene. You know the genre. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, it's so hard to really categorize that really because I feel like especially in the '90s they lumped everything in as grunge, and as far as alternative they literally lumped everything into
yeah,
alternative. Like I mean, Jewel came on the scene and it's like, okay, here's this girl, she's singing sort of poppy folk songs. What is she?
yeah.
Alternative. Like the furthest thing from mostly grunge and stuff, but still kind of lumped in the same category. You know, yeah, I would just hit the big ones. Obviously would be the main ones.
Nirvana,
y- Nirvana
Pearl
and
Jam,
Pearl Jam. Uh, Soundgarden. I think I got more into Soundgarden later on though, because at first I wasn't
same.
like
Yeah.
crazy big on them, but I got way more into them later. Um,
Then who goes in that fourth spot? Because I think here's where it gets a little
I know a lot of people are gonna say Alice in Chains, but I mean I would probably go with Pumpkins, if I'm honest.
okay. Okay, I
Yeah.
don't disagree with it, but in my mind, I was thinking Stone Temple Pilots, but that's just probably bias on I like some STP.
I do like it. I do like STP as well. I do like a lot of their
So
songs.
yeah, I think after those big three you mentioned, it gets a little tricky to figure out that fourth slot.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, and it probably fluctuates a little bit sometimes because sometimes
yeah,
I'll get in the mood where I like one more than the other or whatever. I did like listen to that Melancholy and the Infinite
yeah,
Sadness recently, but no, sometimes cons they're a little underrated. 'Cause, I mean, I feel like some people you heard this a lot when they first came out, like, oh, he sounds like any better kind of a deal because he has a
yeah,
little bit of that sort of same
yeah.
cadence, but totally different sound really, and yeah, so they did some really good stuff, but yeah, those are really the big ones, obviously, but I mean, there were others that had they had a few good songs, but just maybe not as popular, but yeah, I'd say those are probably the main core.
Fair, fair. What I've been listening to, um, in the year of our Lord 2026, the Rolling Stones released a new album.
I saw that single, the one that's got who is it that one girl, the girl from The Witch? You seen that track? You see that video?
It was it the one for In the Stars or
Mm-mm,
something like
no,
that?
I don't think that's what it's called. It was something about relationship, like
Rough and Twisted, maybe.
give me the rest. You know the rest of the tracks.
I
This
can have them in just a second.
this one this one was like about being jealous or something. Am I wrong? Like something like
Jealous
that.
Lover, I think.
Jealous lover. That's it.
Yes. Um. So they put out an album 2, 3 years ago, Hackney Diamonds. I really enjoy. Admittedly, I am a Stones fan. Um, Big Stones fan. If I mean, hands down, them over the Beatles. That's the eternal question, right? You a Stones or a
Yeah,
Beatles guy? But
yeah. I
uh,
think we talked about that on the other podcast, and we both
yeah.
agreed that
So
that was the case.
they put out an album a couple years ago, Hackney Diamonds. Thoroughly enjoyed that. Sweet Sounds of Heaven with Lady Gaga. Terrific cut off that record. This one, I'm going to have to listen to it again. It's one of those upon first listen type things. And the more you kind of soak in some of it, it amazes me at 80 years old how good Mick Jagger still sounds. I mean, I'm sure there's some studio trickery and there's some little effects, but
Mhm.
you can't hide that much. Like, I mean, I guess you can, but you can hear it. There's live recordings recently. I mean, he still sounds good. Um,
Yeah.
but I don't know. It, like I said, it's upon first listen, it's okay. The In the Stars, I thought was pretty good. The lead single off of it, but yeah, not bad, not bad. Worth a
Yeah.
listen.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people at that age definitely wouldn't be able to sing much at all, you know, or it would be very gravelly, like to a point where you would definitely notice the difference from
Yeah.
their previous work. But hey, they're vampires, you know, they are.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's start these topics here. PlayStation to stop releasing physical discs. PlayStation's kind of under fire right now. So they announced that they are, as of next year, stopping, I guess, with the release of Grand Theft Auto 6, stopping the release of physical discs.
uh, that's one of the big ones. I think January 2028 is the like
Mhm.
for. I think it's going to be a slow phase out, but that was the one that kind of got everybody talking because it's probably the biggest game release this decade.
All right. Yeah.
But this brings up an interesting point because I had a conversation with a gentleman at work and even with our old pal Tuck about game streaming. Because
Mhm.
that's been my vision. Not that I just see it going that way. Movies, music, TV, everything is on streaming.
Mhm.
One of the last um, big things that still use physical media in a large fashion. Yeah, I know there's vinyl. I know that. I know that's healthy. I'm just saying it's probably 50-50 between digital and physical. I don't know. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but you still go to the store to buy your games. But
Yeah.
game streaming, Google tried it, and I can't remember. We may have talked about it on the old show, but Google Stadia. I remember doing the
Yeah.
beta test playing an Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I believe it was, on a Chromebook, and it runs smooth as silk. Now, one of the big things I think that would stop stop game streaming would probably be internet capabilities because of the lag and the latency. Some of these games you have to have precision timing, so on and so forth. But my point to all that is, I think we're heading toward whether or not it's game streaming or just digital sales only. The gaming community, Sony, Nintendo, Microsoft, whomever, you pay for a digital license, and that's it. A pay to you don't actually own it.
Right, and that's where the problem lies,
Yep.
big time, because you create this monopoly where you're able to control all of it. And this is the same thing with streaming, with movies and stuff, owning movies like on Fandango or iTunes, stuff like that. It's the same problem, because these people are saying, and there's a lot of people that are very angry about this. Some people I'm sure were already streaming stuff, but it's like, it's like, okay, well, like I've got a Switch and I've got, okay, so it's like, well, yeah, I've got some physical copies and I got some that are just streaming, just downloading.
Yep.
But then with the downloading, okay, well, even if you have them downloaded like that, you have to have hardware. You have to have um, like space. So if you run out of space, then you're either going to have to get more space or delete some games and stuff like that.
Yep.
So there's
Yep.
always that problem. But the main problem is if you have them controlling it all, then they can lose licenses released to a game, and then what? Are you going to lose that game? I would say probably yes. And the reason I say that is what you're talking about with the license to, you're basically kind of a digital rental, really, even though you're
Yep.
paying full price for it. Because, and here's another thing that happened with PlayStation. They announced that they are, because I guess PlayStation, they have their own version of movies too. It's not like
Yeah.
hooked up with all the other digital places like Movies Anywhere and Google Play and Fandango and iTunes, all that. It's not connected with that stuff. But if you had a PlayStation, you could purchase movies there, right? It
Yep.
was an option. Well, they announced that they are removing over 550 movies from their platform. And if you own those movies, you no longer get to watch those movies. I think it's the Studio Canal is the studio that's they've
Yeah.
lost a license agreement with, and so all these movies are going away. Now, as of now, I have not heard anything about any sort of compensation to anybody. I think it's just your shit out of luck.
Yeah.
So let's say these people bought this movie for who knows, could have bought it regular price, 10, 15, $20 for a digital copy, and now they're going away. And so, and the very same thing could happen to these games
Yep.
very easily. And that's why a lot of people don't want to deal with this, And there's another thing too. It's called like the idea of like recycling stuff, Like think about it like this. Okay, well, you like a gaming system, but now the gaming system is kind of older, and there's a lot of games that's been out for a while, and you don't want to pay full price for them, so you go to like a pawn shop or like some store and buy a used copy for like next to nothing. Try it out, instead of having to pay full price or whatever.
Yep.
Um, you can't do that anymore with digital, and also look, selling. Like, oh, I don't want this game anymore. I've played it and I don't really want it anymore. I just sold a game yesterday on eBay for over $100. Now you can't do that if it's digital. It's worth nothing, you know. So you really have like you're gonna pay the amount that you pay for physical, but you're literally gonna have nothing to show for it really if they decide to remove it and you can't do anything with it anyway. If you beat it and you don't want to play it anymore, you get bored of it, you're just like, well, either I delete it or I keep it, but I can't do anything with it. So there's so many problems here with like for some people. Again, some people don't care. Some people are already on the digital bandwagon, but like I think a lot of people aren't. And there's a lot of people really, really mad about this stuff. And here was another thing that they announced was that they said if you have a PlayStation account and it's been inactive for like 3 years, they can delete it and delete all your games. So imagine you buy all these games, and for some reason or other, you just don't. You just kind of aren't playing games right now, and then you
Hmm.
try to log back in years later, and your account's been deleted.
Yeah.
I mean, none of this stuff looks good for them. None of this looks good at all.
No. Um, and I definitely see Microsoft and Nintendo following suit uh, at some point. It's just the nature of the beast. Um, I could eventually, again, just game streaming. Instead of buying a console, you have instead of buying a console for $500 to $1,000, whatever it is, you pay well like Xbox Live. You still pay that $30 a month, and just you're still buying the games, but they're continuously so 12 times 30, $360 over the course of 3 years. They've still got that $1,000, and they control everything. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I think it's a classic case of leveragism, which will that's a little tease for what we're going to get into in just a bit.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's. I don't think it's good. I think a lot of people are pushing back, but some people said they're going to delete their accounts or not sign up for it, not get the digital versions of stuff and all that. But in the end, that's what's going to be decided. If enough people do push back, maybe. But so far they've not. They're still going forward with it. So I think that you just have to wait and see. I mean, yeah, if they lose enough money, they'll change their mind. But if enough people just say, I'm just going to go ahead and fucking do it,
Yeah.
then that's the way it's going to be. And like you said, more will probably follow suit eventually too. And it's just going to be this thing where you don't own anything. And like you said, even with Nintendo, you gotta pay a subscription to play online stuff. So
Mm,
you can pay it yearly instead of monthly or whatever you want to do. But like you're still paying for stuff. They're getting money for nothing really. Just
checks
and it's
for free.
hmm and so with all this, Domino's has been trolling PlayStation on social media, which I thought was really hilarious. I'm not sure why they decided to throw their hat in the ring there, but if you go to their um, like Facebook page and probably Twitter page, you can see them. They've had like two or three, or maybe even more by now, more comments. But yeah, it's pretty funny because it is kind of the thing where I think that a lot of people look at it for what it is, which is it's definitely them taking control.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Not good. Not good. All right. Um, Actress Tilly Norwood to star in her first feature film. Here we go. That didn't take long.
No, no. And it's kind of crazy. We were talking about before we hit record, like some things that we covered months ago coming back in the headlines more full force. We covered Tilly. It was the title of one of our episodes.
Mhm.
I slept with Tilly Norwood, and it yeah, it didn't take long. I I'm intrigued. I can't help but be intrigued. If if this is entirely AI generated, whatever, but fine tuned. I mean, we've seen the videos online of little 2 and 3 minute shorts that look
Mhm.
really fucking good.
Mhm. Yeah.
Uh, if this is that, but fine tuned and tweaked, I, I don't know. I don't know. I'm intrigued to see how it turns out, because if it's shit and it's glitchy, what have you, then all right. but if it's good, mm, mm,
Well, yeah, it may be a make or break situation here. And really Hollywood, I mean, there's definitely plenty of people in Hollywood that push back on this kind of stuff. They don't want anything to do with it. And there's been some sort of guardrails to degrees, but I think at the end of the day, really all they really say is, well, these AIs can't get awards. They can't be nominated for the Oscars. And okay, like I don't think anybody cares about that necessarily. But so if they're if this is successful, I would say you're definitely going to see more. I mean, you're going to see more of it
yeah,
anyway.
yeah,
Again, especially from independent artists, the people that can't afford to hire so many people or whatever, they're going to use people like Tilly, uh, like yeah, as soon as possible, as soon as it's available to really like show and be lifelike. So if it actually is successful though, I think it's going to be more of a thing that you're just going to see it anyway in Hollywood. They're going to slip it in, and yeah, there's going to be pushback for a while, but I mean, I just think that eventually it's just going to be that way, and yeah, probably at some point, maybe 10 years down the line, maybe not even that long, maybe five, you're going to watch a movie and you will maybe think that's a real person, but it's not.
hmm hmm
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see.
yep,
All right, so let's get to this video you sent. I kind of miss capitalism
yep,
YouTube video. Uh,
yep, yeah,
big informative video. A lot of stuff in it. A lot of stuff to take away. Just break it down for us.
yeah. So the video was sent to me by I think I've mentioned him on here before, K Dot, a fellow I work with, and he's an unofficial correspondent for the show because a lot of the stuff he sends, um, I forward on to you guys. If it's, I'm like, damn, that's good. So, and I've even told him he does watch the show, and I've even told him we got to get you on here sometime. So hopefully that happens. But the channel from this video is a guy by the name of Ben Jordan, and it, like you said, it really covers a lot. And it starts out with how early on we shifted from the gold standard to the petrodollar because we were a top oil producer, and that kind of gave us more leverage, and also it forced global trade into the U.S. dollar, um, and again just gave us a ton of leverage, and it's a theme throughout the whole thing. And he goes on to say how firms like Blackstone and KKR use a thing called dividend recaps and debt loading to extract value from companies. Uses Toys R Us as an example,
Mhm.
and how business are dismantled and used solely for debt rather than trying to grow these companies. We'll kind of pause there before we get into the rest of what it covers, but really good stuff. Like you mentioned, very informative. I had never really thought about it that way because I mentioned Blackstone. He mentioned that's what's happening with real estate and how they're
Mhm.
controlling a lot of it, and it is kind of frightening to think that for all the talk of communism and things of that nature, especially recently, it's like, wait a minute, do you actually know what communism means
Mhm. Well,
with
we talked a
this?
little bit about Blackstone. We did talk a little bit about Blackstone. Pretty much bought a lot of houses and stuff before
Hmm
on the podcast, I think. And yeah, it's like I think that's the problem with a lot of what's happened is if they bought up all this property and then they've upped the value or they've created a value that's higher than it's worth. Let's be real. and then everybody else just follows suit, though,
Yeah.
and that's just the way it works. Is if you've got 10 houses that Blackstone has bought, and they're like probably double the price of them, then if you're going to sell your home, you're not going to lower it. It's going to be, and so it creates the whole thing where everything has just kind of skyrocketed. I mean, it's not just buying homes; it's also renting homes too, as
Yep.
well. So, which is why look at the increase that we've seen over the last 20 years. Has been pretty wild. You know, Even the last 5 years, I would say there's been quite a bit in a lot of places. So yeah, I mean, it really is one of those things that I don't think a lot of people really even know exists. They just think, oh, it's just inflation, but really, there's more to it than
Yeah, for sure. And moving along to the rest of what it covers. So he kind of goes on into the current AI bubble and information control. And he mentioned you on Google now. There's an AI summary, and
that.
you kind of got to scroll half a page. And a lot of times for basic information, uh, it gets it mostly right. If you just what color is a black bear? I don't know.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
it
Purple.
it it mostly gets it right. So I don't think it's an entirely bad thing. But for more detailed things,
Well,
you
yeah.
kind of got to double check it.
What it did with him and
Yeah,
all the things that it aligned him with was kind of wild because I mean, it really sort of painted him in a total opposite picture of who he is,
exactly. Yeah.
which is extremely uh, possibly volatile in the future as we're all going to be heavily monitored, as we already are. So, it's like, oh
Yep.
shit, I'm on what list because
And
of Gemini?
exactly, and how in what was sure to be an already tight job market in the next 5 to 10 years, due to the influx of AI, probably taking some jobs.
Mhm.
If they use a tool such as this for their hiring practices, uh, Mike, it says here you have murdered 3 people. So not only are we not going to give you the job, but the authorities will be here in 5 minutes. So obviously that's an extreme example, but I mean, like you said, it painted him in a very untrue light. But it does go on to explain, you know, the one thing recently that's been touted is the stock market, and he mentions things like SpaceX and kind of over evaluations, putting like right now 401ks, everybody's 401ks are doing great, but these over valuations and when and if the bubble pops, and like you mentioned with the expanding surveillance, it it's all about debt or not debt, wealth consolidation. And he he mentioned a thing called shadow work, where corporations would shift labor cost onto the consumer, and we're already seeing some of this with self checkout, or and we've seen it for years, assembling furniture, uh,
Mhm.
effectively turning us into unpaid employees. And he really harped on AI and how it's being forced into everything too, and how, like we just mentioned, that could paint people in untrue lights, but just
I'm
helping
not
that.
saying I don't mind self checkouts. I will say that. I know it
Yeah,
is it is it is sort of forced labor, and I don't get paid for it.
yeah,
But I will say that the days before that. especially in bigger supermarkets and stuff, Walmart and Kroger and places like that. Uh, the thing is they were never staffed adequately enough to get you in and out fast enough. It was the
Yeah.
problem. And so it wasn't really that they couldn't have done it. They just never would have staffed it enough. Now, had that been, then yeah, I would prefer it. But as it was, it's much easier for me to go and do my own real fast because I can do it faster than sitting around waiting in a line of like 10 people because there's like two cashiers.
Yeah.
That sort of stuff. And I think even Dollar General has that problem now because they did go to self checkout, but I guess that they were losing so much money that everyone I've ever seen in now they've
Yeah.
dismantled those, and so now
It's an
now they're back
extra
to that.
display place.
It's
They
just yeah, it's
They just have shit sitting on it.
right. So now you're back to waiting in line because there's one cashier kind of
Mm.
deal. So those things I think are effective. Yes, it is, like you said, it is shadow working though.
Um, but no, again, I mean, it was super, super interesting video. I highly suggest anyone to watch it. Obviously, we're kind of hitting the high spots here, but a lot of good information in there. A lot to think about. And I mean, it's one of those that it will kind of give you the heebie-jeebies a bit because it's like, it does. I wouldn't say it's necessarily confirmation bias because he gives a lot of really good examples that are hard to argue. So it, and I mentioned earlier with the PlayStation thing. That's another example of one of his main points in the videos of leveragism. These corporations have you by the balls so much. Like most people are going to go to Walmart, are going to go to Kroger, are going to go to these big stores, self checkout. There, fuck it. If that's all, if this is where I get my groceries, I guess I'll go through self checkout. If you are a gamer and you choose one of the big three and they go to digital only, fuck it. I guess if I'm going to play games, I'm buying digital. It's that leveragism of they're still getting what they want out of you and they're giving you
Well,
less.
well, they're not only are they giving what they want, but they're charging you more. They're able to
Yeah.
charge so much more.
Yeah.
And look, and editing systems did this years and years ago. Adobe Premiere went to the cloud how many years ago? It's been a long time. So instead of buying discs, which was so much easier, you buy the disc. I mean, yeah, it was costly, but that was a one-time purchase. I mean, you have it.
Yeah.
But no, okay, we went to a monthly or yearly subscription service, so now you have to pay for it all the time, you know, and that's pretty much what, like you said, where everything's pretty much going.
Yeah. But yeah, really interesting stuff. I've been meaning to check out more of that Ben Jordan, more of his stuff, because again, it was very well put together. So again, I kind of miss Capitalism by Ben Jordan.
YouTube. Yep.
YouTube. Highly recommend it.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if you can hear all these loud explosions over here, but somebody thinks it's the 4th of July, but we were kind of past it. But yeah, somebody's
America,
still going off.
America, baby.
We've got all these left over. Let's go ahead and shoot them off. Shoot them off, boys. All right. Next story. Kentucky church. They do a bizarre skit showing the devil being executed by firing squad. It's kind of a weird story. I mean, it's like, uh, I, I, I don't know. Like, why would the firing squad be executing the devil? Seems
Uh,
like it's not a little. Uh, harrowing to watch if you're a kid or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly don't know what to say. Yeah. Could the devil be killed by a firing squad? I don't know. I thought it was
What?
like, unless they're silver bullets, are those, transferable to the devil? I thought you had to have like a special,
I don't know.
I don't know, sword of Damocles. I don't fucking know. I thought you had to, other than just a normal firing squad. I feel like the devil would use some kind of goddamn magic powers and
Mm-hmm.
something.
You
Like,
would
I don't
think
know.
so. You would think
I
so.
If he has a whole entire world beneath the surface and underworld, and he's the king
Uh-huh.
shit, you're
Uh-huh.
telling me a firing. So as a kid, I would be questioning the whole fucking premise of it. You can't. No, a fucking firing squad's not going to kill the devil. You'd need, I mean, like, yeah, you need a lot
It's
more
just
than that.
it's just a weird premise. Like, who thought of this? I don't know. I guess they're bored. They need something. I guess
Yeah.
spice it up. All right. Still in Kentucky. A Ford worker, a Ford company, they fired a worker in Kentucky for stealing a $1.95 cookie. It turned out that he actually paid for it. So this is kind of weird because so it wasn't even like a cookie. It was in the vending machine apparently, but he was having problems with it. Like he put his card in, I guess, or whatever, and it didn't. It like seemed like it didn't work or whatever. I don't know, but they were saying that he stole it, and he's like, I didn't steal it. But they're like, okay, you're fired. Yeah, and come to find out, they go through his, he's able to prove through his bank statements that he did pay for this cookie, and then lo and behold, they're like, okay, well, I guess you can come back. And he was like, no, he'd already went off and got another job. He said,
Mm.
forget it, you know. So yeah, I mean, again, to me, like, and I'm not even sure how. I don't think it even said what I read, but like, how did this even come about? Was this like some kind of video that they're looking at and going, "Oh, I can tell you didn't pay for that cookie." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's wild, but yeah, I mean, so instead of waiting to find out if he could prove it or not, because obviously he was saying, "Yeah, I did pay for it." Um, they were just like, "See ya."
Uh, if I had to guess, I would say it was like a market type deal. A lot of workplaces and factories have like this market set up, like it's somewhat set up like a convenience store. You go up, grab your stuff, and then there's like a little kiosk.
Yeah,
We've had people who, rumor and innuendo was that's why they were let go. I'm sure there was a little more to it than that, but so I could easily see where, uh, yeah, and there's cameras facing it, so I could see where if you're not careful, could get yourself in a little bit of trouble. I would imagine they could watch the video. I mean, before they just leap to the conclusion of firing you, but I
yeah.
don't know.
Well. So I mean, if it was a card, which I'm thinking it was, I mean, obviously you're seeing him put it in, right? Like
Hmm.
he's actually like so. Um, Again, I don't even. It's weird to jump to that conclusion with it because obviously the payment went through, so there was all that. So um, again, I would just to me it just sounds like the video looks suspicious and they just went with it.
Yeah, yeah.
I could be wrong. I could be wrong. All right. Cyclosporiasis? How do you say it?
Very close enough for me. Yeah.
Cyclosporiasis cases, and there's in 31 states now. Now this is a nasty little critter. Makes you
Just
come out at both ends.
shit all over the place. Yeah. On a lot of um, things such as cilantro, basil, snow peas, lettuce, raspberries, a lot of produce, watery diarrhea, cramping, fatigue that can last for weeks or a couple weeks. So, yeah, certainly nasty. Um, I've not heard a ton as far as what's being done. There may not be anything that could be done, but
I don't know.
uh, yeah, kind of scary. Kind of scary. I think Taco Bell took pico de gallo, cilantro, lettuce, and maybe one or two other vegetable based items off their menu.
Really?
So, yep, yep.
Now, are we thinking like this could be maybe some of those fun little pesticides they put on everything? Is that,
I mean, potentially, but I don't know. I wouldn't
but
rule
it
it out.
is, but it is something that's new, right? This is obviously a new situation.
Yeah,
Um, but the fact that it's on so many different things leads me to believe that it is man-made.
yeah,
I mean, I could be wrong, but it's usually hard for things to just go uh, from multiple things all of a sudden. So
yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, that's not one you want to get for sure. All right, EPA will no longer require microplastic testing for drinking water. That's good since we've now been heavily talking about it. It seems like it's in everything. Let's not even test it. Who cares? We don't
Yeah.
need to test.
It's already in there. They know they're getting it. Just let it roll.
Yeah, we don't want to test it because then we have to do something about it, and I mean that's no fun.
Yeah.
That's a bad Monday, so we're not going to do it anymore.
I
Uh,
mean, and it like I use the filter on my fridge for
mhm.
drinking water, but I'm
Yeah,
sure it's not filtering out the microplastics, and obviously showers, and washing dishes, and things of that nature. I mean, it's still getting in there, so it's just like, all right then.
yeah. Obviously plastic bottles, that's a no-brainer. But then they say, oh, well, it's also in cans. What? Oh, it's also in glass bottles. What?
Yeah,
And it's like, oh, okay, it's in everything then, pretty much. I mean,
yeah,
let's face it. Unless you're lapping liquid off the floor, then you probably are ingesting more than likely. So other than probably find ways like we talked about before of eliminating it and removing it, you probably there's just no getting around it. All right, let's go to China. China possibly has an AI cyber nuclear weapon. That sounds fun as shit.
yeah. Maybe this is why Marsha Blackburn is so against China. Uh, her fucking campaign ads are all about
Oh,
that.
oh, I keep saying them all the time. Yes,
God.
all the time.
So what was the basis on this?
I,
It
I
was
mean, it
just
it didn't. Yeah, it didn't give a lot of detail about it. It was just saying that they have a potential. Maybe it's somebody just thinking it up, but then again, I mean, we've already talked about and seen how uh, these AIs can create plans for uh, like nuclear weapons. Like they can actually do it if not given guardrails. So if you take a place like China, who, I mean, let's face it, they want to be number one. They've been working for it for years now.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't they do pretty much anything and everything they can to sort of gain the advantage? Does it mean that they'll ever use it? No, but if they have it, I mean, that's just something to have in the back pocket, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you can't trust them. I mean, obviously, there was those balloons that were over America here. What was it, a couple years ago? Those mysterious balloons
Yep.
uh, that was obviously detailing whatever they wanted to detail from us. Here was another thing, China. Secret Dragon space plane released an unidentified object over Earth. So they went up there, dropped something off. We don't know what it is.
That's comforting. I mean,
It's very comforting. Again, as much science fiction as we've seen come to life, I mean, I don't really like the idea of space lasers.
no,
You know,
no. Yeah. No, I mean, to your point, China has been trying to gun for that number one spot for quite some time. So, um, yeah, they're ramping up for sure. So,
hmm
kind of scary.
well, I think that's the thing is this technology, AI, put it in the wrong hands, and it's so easy to like manipulate because if you have an AI that is, and they've already released a lot of AIs that have been comparable to ours, you know,
Hmm.
and so would that not be a thing that they were going to use against us? I mean, obviously they would. So it is worrisome that they will do anything and everything to again gain that knowledge and power to sort of put them on that pedestal.
Yep.
Uh, it's bad. It's not good. It's not good at all. All right, Tucker Carlson starting a third party.
Yeah. I'll say what I text in the group chat. I stand by my prediction from the last show when he was kind of announcing he was breaking with Trump and really started roasting him. And yeah, I could see this gaining some momentum for sure. And oddly enough, I'm not a fan of Carlson by any means, but I don't hate this idea. Um, the two party system probably isn't as great as it should be, and has certainly the pickings are slim. So
Yeah.
I don't hate this idea to introduce a third party again. By no means am I a fan of Tucker Carlson, but um, yeah, I don't hate. I don't hate it.
Well, we've definitely had third parties before in the past. We've had different ones, Tea Party and all that stuff, but none of them have ever really gained a lot of traction. But I guess what you would see here is there would be definitely some of the Republican crowd that isn't full blown cult MAGA that might drift toward his platform if he chose to go that route. I mean, that might be a thing. But
Yeah,
I don't think that there would ever be any gains of significance because it's just we're just so set in our ways of it's got to be one or the other, which it really shouldn't be. I mean, we really should be able to have maybe as many parties as we could to have better chances of better candidates, because it's just so, like you said, slim pickings that you have to sometimes just choose the lesser evil.
yeah.
All right. White supremacists marching on the 4th. What do you got?
Yeah, this was something that it got a little bit of traction. I seen a couple articles pop up,
Yeah.
but Patriot Front, who um, has a presence in, I know, Nashville. I've seen stuff online and whatnot posted from downtown Nashville, and I guess they have more of a national presence as well, unfortunately. But they are basically the very definition of white supremacist, and they marched in Washington, D.C. on July 4th carrying various flags, and I'm almost positive the videos I've seen, they were carrying a Confederate flag, and it's just like, wow, wow. And it's not a clutching my pearls type thing. It is just, it's what are we doing?
So, well, when they marched, were they met with any sort of resistance or anything like that?
I don't,
They were
I
just
don't
marching.
believe so. I don't believe so.
Yeah.
They just,
Yeah.
and they were peaceful. And I know
Yeah.
everybody has a right for peaceful whatever, but it's just,
Peaceful assembly. Yeah. I guess that's true. Um, yeah. I mean, I don't hate the idea because I think that once you know your enemies, you know who's out there, you know what they're thinking, and if they, you'd rather know what they're doing than them being sort of secretive in the closet about it, right?
mhm,
So I guess there's that. I mean, as long as nothing's really, if they're not hurting anybody, if they are being peaceful and they're not, I mean, to me, I mean, we had the Klan for years. We had the West Borough people. We've had so many people like that. They're kind of just flakes, right? I mean, they do their thing, and people just make fun of them, and
yeah.
eventually they usually go away eventually. But yeah, I mean, it's I don't think it's ever going to go away completely. I mean,
No.
we have come too far for it to. I mean, I feel like there's been enough evolution and enough sort of uh, like we've trained, we've seen enough in our lifetime and read about enough that's happened before our lifetimes that I feel like if you can't get it yet, then you're never going to, and then you
Yeah.
feel that they're never going to. It's just
Yeah.
it's kind of a hope. It's kind of a hopeless cause, really.
Yeah.
All right. A woman who dated Graham Platner says he sexually assaulted her.
Yeah. So Graham Platner was running for the Senate seat in Maine. Um, and
Speaking of white supremacists,
well, now this guy was one of the Democrat nominees.
right?
And our old pal Cliff sent a video 2 or 3 months ago when he actually won the nomination for the Democratic side and was gaining steam. And he seemed like a really reasonable fellow. The video that he sent, it was about 20 minutes long. He was sitting down with, and I'm sure there was some fluff done, but he was sitting down with conservatives and Trump supporters and talking, and really well done video. And I'm like, okay, I'll keep an eye on this. But yeah, apparently, that's basically the long and short of it. Was a woman he used to date claims he sexually assaulted her, and he withdrew
Yeah,
from the
it's what him out,
race.
right? Yeah.
So I can't find any details. Wait. Jenny Racicot, I think is the lady's name. Yeah, no, I don't think there's any details of the just typical, being forceful, deeply intoxicated and forced himself on her. So nothing like, obviously, if it is true assault, but um, yeah, kind of crazy. Because, like I said, I wasn't like, yeah, I'm a fan of this guy, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, he seems like a reasonable guy. I'll keep an
Well,
eye on
he
him.
was the one though that had the Nazi tattoo that he tattooed over, right? Am I thinking wrong?
I think you're right. Yeah, yeah,
So there was a little bit of problematic stuff there, I think. Anyway,
yeah.
you know, yeah. All right. What about Mitch McConnell? How's he doing? So
A lot of people are talking to him. It's
talking
debatable on if he's talking back.
to. Well, that's kind of important, now, don't you think?
One of the most bizarre things I've seen in quite some time. Uh, Reports came out when they took him out of his residence. Fucking sheet over him with his feet sticking out from underneath. Um, Reports of him being brain dead, just straight up a vegetable. Uh, but then others are going on CNN and the like. And yeah, I talked to him and he's doing great. We talked about Iran and Israel, yada, 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 yada. And it's just like, but there's no proof. And I get it.
Right.
Sometimes you don't want like somebody in a hospital. There is a kernel of legitimacy to what they're saying. But at the same time, it's like, I've seen this motherfucker glitch out a couple of times over the past year.
Yeah.
He fell over, if I'm not mistaken. Like, he's not been doing the best. He's 84 years old. So it's like, yeah.
It's pretty much a real good example of why term limits should happen, you think?
Yeah. I think this would be a real good case of that. So
Yeah,
just
well, it's
bizarre.
like, okay, you don't want a video or something from the hospital, but I mean, what about an audio? Hey, yeah, I'm okay, I'm good. I mean, just something, something that just sort of sets the idea that he is actually coherent and okay. Uh, I don't know. I mean, yeah, you never can tell. He could be fine, but then again, it could be like totally over. Uh,
Yeah.
and they're trying to figure out what they're going to do with it. So, um, but I mean, and it's just like, yeah, the fact that he has such an important part of Congress is like worrying anyway, because like if you got a guy who is obviously got a lot of troubles, at that age, it's not good for the country.
Yeah. Not at all. Not at all.
Yeah. All right. Trump's financial disclosure shows more than 580 million in crypto related income.
Yeah. So, and I think with this was during the time he was going on MSNBC or MS Now or one of those. It was a liberal station. I've seen the clip of it where he was also talking about when his kids make decisions. I don't think he said trades, but they have inside information,
Mhm.
blatantly saying that. And then that in conjunction with him getting $500 billion in crypto, uh, it's just mind blowing to me at the corruption. Um, yeah, just crazy.
Well, yeah, I mean, because I mean, again, obviously crypto's not been around forever, but no president before has ever done anything like this, right?
Yeah.
No president has ever um, came with all these different ways to make money, to just literally just make tons and tons of money while you're supposed to be running the country,
Yeah.
right?
Uh, and, and I just want to, we're going to touch on some more corruption in a second. I just want to, I've got some numbers because I was thinking a lot
Okay.
about this
Yep.
and how, we talked last time about that. I think it was last time with the video of the congressman and the corruption. And it's just more and more every time
Mhm.
for the past 4 or 5 episodes. I know it's been one news story after another about the corruption. Nothing's
Oh, I
being
think
done.
I think most of our episodes has at least
Well,
one of them.
fair, but and
They are ramping up though.
nothing's being done. And how are we benefiting? We're not. So I'll try to run through this fairly quick. So I got this from a lot of this information from channel Bell of the South. I think I've seen you guys. It used to be Bo the Fifth, and it's a YouTube channel. Kind of it's a lady in her garage. A lot of good information. She cites a lot of good sources. Good channel. Highly recommend it. But it's where a lot of this information came from. And this particular bit of information chronicles what Biden essentially handed Trump. Uh, Personal consumer expenditures, which is essentially consumer spending, how much they're spending on goods, not exactly inflation, but just what you're spending. Biden handed off 2.3%, and now it's 4.1, so nearly 2% more based on what we're spending on just average things. The core inflation rate minus food and energy cost rose from 2.8% to 3.4. Unemployment, it's in my mind a wash. 4.1 under Biden, risen to 4.2 under Trump. Consumer confidence dropped from 109 under Biden to 91 under Trump. GDP growth slowed from 2.8 in the third quarter of 2024 to 2.1% of 2026. Then, obviously, gas prices have risen from around the $3 range to 370 under Trump. Uh, and
Oh, well, there's
it's
more than that. There's more than that here.
yeah, but I think national averages.
The average. Okay,
Yeah,
so certain places were less. Okay.
yeah,
Oh, that's interesting.
but
Yeah.
well, it was under $3 under Biden, and since Trump has took over, it's rose 70 cents on average. And it's just those things for all the shit that Biden got,
Hmm.
and some of it rightfully so. He wasn't perfect. I think time will look back upon him pretty fondly as we get further and further removed. And yeah, there was some inflation. There was some things there in 21 and 22 that were rocky, but it's just like it wasn't that bad. It wasn't maybe great, but motherfucker, I don't see how anyone can sit back and say, well, we're doing even better now when we're not. And this fucking con man's getting rich.
So much money. So much money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and he's blatantly said it. He said, "I don't care about grocery prices. I don't care about gas prices. I don't care about food."
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's literally said it. So it's not like it's something that he's denying, really, or he's trying to like say, "Oh, no, I'm helping you guys. Come on." Here's another thing about Trump. Trump's there was this Israeli billionaire, Miriam Adelson, that gave Trump $106 million during, I guess, was it this term? Maybe it was this term, and has now since said that she will pledge another $250 million if he runs a third term. I mean, now are we seeing more of why we're such buddies with Israel?
Yeah,
It's all about the pay to play, isn't it?
it is. It is. Yeah, I just, again, I don't, the corruption is unlike anything we've ever seen. And they're all corrupt. I know
Absolutely. Yeah.
you can go back to Nixon. You could probably go back even farther than that. Uh, as time has worn on, and these PACs, these super PACs, and all these things, donors have grown.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think I mentioned it on here. It doesn't matter. Hey, we gotta lower grocery prices, lower gas prices. Kamala's going to raise shit sky high. Vote for me. Okay,
Yeah,
all
yeah.
right. And then once they get in there, it's whoever gave them the real money. Um,
Exactly.
so, but it's just, I don't know if we've ever seen it on this level, this fucking blatant.
No way. No,
Like,
well, because again, I go back to this all the time, but when you talk about Nixon, I mean, look, I mean, Nixon left because he knew that he was not going to be able to get away with the shit.
yeah,
His corruption got shown a light on, and there was enough pushback at the time that he knew he had to go.
yeah,
I mean, yeah, of course, Gerald Ford pardoned him as soon as he got in, which was a shitty thing to do. But but no, there has never been any sort amount of corruption anywhere near this. I mean, I think power itself is corruption. I think that power is corruption. There's really no getting around it. I mean, can there be certain people that can handle power without it going completely to the black? Maybe. But I just think that as a whole, when you have that much leverage, you tend to do something, skimming a little bit here or there, something. Something's
yeah,
happening. You're taking
for sure.
some backdoor projects or something. It's just the way it is, and probably most of the presidents have to certain degrees. But no one, never, ever, anywhere near the amount of degrees that we know about. And think about the ones that we don't know about.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean,
it,
that's the scary part.
yeah. Maybe. And I was talking to Cliff earlier today, and I said, the crazy thing is, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Installing those three Supreme Court justices in his first term really changed things because they've done the presidential immunity thing.
Hmm.
So he could just say, this was a part of my presidential duty, something. He can do whatever the fuck he wants because of that. Like,
Why
I,
would you? Why would you give a president that? Like your job literally is to check
yeah,
them. Why would you give them more power? I mean, and to me, like, and that's where it's like to me the whole thing of the third term and kind of the no more elections things seems too real because you don't want to give the other party this power, do you? You
yeah,
want the other party to have this power? I don't think you do. I think you're just thinking of this one guy. So what? But once it's in there, I mean, it's hard to undo. So what exactly are you planning on doing whenever the new guy gets in? Because let's face it, Trump isn't gonna live forever. I mean, that's just the truth.
yeah,
He's getting up there too. He's getting up there. And the reality is that even if they do try this shit, which I mean we'll see,
Mm.
but yeah, but uh, like as if it does happen, I mean I don't think he could survive a third term. Let's be honest, I just don't really
No,
think it.
no.
So so at that point, then you give him the power over probably to somebody else. Because I mean, as much corruption that's happened and people know about it now, I mean, hopefully enough people is sort of like figured out. I mean, hey, this is not what I signed up for, at
Mm.
all. But I don't know. I guess we'll see. We'll see. All right. So you sent me this video of Trump. He was I guess there's an AI Teddy Roosevelt that was doing like a presentation, and then Trump starts talking to it like a real person.
Yeah, this was pretty bizarre and funny. I think this was at the presidential library, at Teddy Roosevelt's presidential library. And I mean, it was a cool little thing. Just the video that I sent you, Roosevelt saying some stuff. And he, like you said, started talking back to it. Thank you, Mr. Roosevelt, and just all this. And then in a speech, if I'm not mistaken, that same day or the next day, I had a conversation with Mr. Roosevelt. And it's like, sure, we know you're joking. We know you're being facetious, but are you? Like, I don't know. You hear the things about him having dementia, showing signs of dementia, and it's like
Mhm, mhm.
he mentioned something the other day about the Islamic Republic of Japan, uh, and
Those guys.
yeah, and pointing to Zelensky and saying President Putin twice, if I'm not mistaken, and
Okay.
it's just like, look, I know Biden's debate a couple years ago, that
Ooh, it
first
was
one,
rough.
it
It
was
was rough.
rough. I know he had some gaffes, talking about corn pop and whatever the fuck else. I get it. The difference is he was smart enough to know to install some competent people that would kind of assemble a team around him.
Yeah.
There's nothing but sycophants up there now. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's way different. Way different.
Way different. Yeah. Absolutely. No, it is. But I mean, that's just the thing. I mean, cognitively, when you get that old, I mean, the chances are is that you aren't going to be as uh, right in your head as you were 10, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And so when you get to that point, I mean, and I think this goes both parties or any party that you should not be the president if you're that old. Because not only are you out of touch with the world because you've lived that long, and let's face it, when we get older, we do get out of touch with shit. I mean, it's just the truth.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, as people who is directing him, probably his sons or whatever, through the crypto stuff, even though I'm sure he's not fully aware of what it is other than it's making him money, right? Makes me money, let's do it.
Yeah.
But as far as like just being able to make such important decisions for a country, that's not good. It's not good that you have somebody who's again pretty much incompetent.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Let's see here. So I, the Trump administration they want to restore gun rights to thousands of people that have mental illness. This seems like a bad idea.
Yeah. So it's um going to eliminate or revise some Obama or Biden era gun laws, rollback rules that block certain individuals' mental illnesses, block the purge of block the purging and sharing of certain veteran mental health records with the FBI background check system because, sure. Loosen the regulatory definitions of who is engaged in the business of selling firearms, reducing scrutiny on private weapon transactions and hobbyists, and abandon the strict zero tolerance enforcement approach previously used against gun dealers who repeatedly violated the law. So it's been a while since we talked about guns on here.
Well, and you know
And
why? You know why too, though? Because honestly, it's kind of been a while since we've had some outbursts. And I mean, there's been a few, but it's not been like so prevalent like it was there for a while. We've kind
now
of calmed down a little bit.
it's just the secret police killing people. That's
Yeah.
all. Because I think ICE did kill somebody the other day.
Oh yeah. I'm just talking about like
Yeah, no, I
the
know.
latest shootings. I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
ICE is gonna kill people.
no. But yeah, this isn't good. Let's be real. If you
No.
think that any of what I just read, that is a brief overview of what's going to be rolled back, if you think, yeah, okay, that sounds fair, then fuck out of here. Come on. These are reasonable ask.
Look, we've all, if you've lived enough life and seen enough people, you have to realize there are some people that are absolutely fucking cuckoo.
Yeah.
They're just off their fucking rocker.
Yep.
And give them a gun. I was in a restaurant here a few years ago, waiting on an order, and there was a guy in there, and you could tell like there was something wrong. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
he wasn't all there. And I mean he didn't seem aggressive or nothing. He just you could just tell that it wasn't all clicking there. And I look down and I see a fucking firearm on his side. And I'm immediately like, shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because you don't know.
You don't know.
Uh, you don't know what could happen in a situation like that because they're not all there. You know, it's like get give somebody the opportunity and they have some sort of fit or incoherence with reality, and all of a sudden you're a fucking victim because they decided to shoot you or shoot up 20 people. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not a good thing. I mean, at all. And why are they doing it? Probably because Obama and Biden did it, right?
Yeah.
Is that what we're talking about? Well, let's just try to roll back a lot of the stuff they did.
Yeah.
That's just sad, man. All right, so more on the news from Iran. What's happening over there now? It's a new day, so I don't know what happened today, but they were doing some more airstrikes. Ceasefire was no more. Maybe it is by now. Again, I don't know. You tell me.
Uh, from what I can find, yeah, more airstrikes on Saturday after a commercial ship was attacked that was going through the Strait of Hormuz. So yeah, more of the same. I think they said the ceasefire was over like Wednesday or Thursday, something along those lines as of this recording. Gas jumped another 30 or 40 cents.
Jesus
So
Christ.
we're
Yeah.
right back to where we were. And
It's like,
it's,
wow. Wow.
who knows why we're doing it? They're never going to have a nuclear weapon. They don't have a nuclear weapon to begin with. U.S.
Now,
intelligence says they have no plans of a nuclear weapon. So
is there,
what the fuck are we doing?
since the ceasefire has ceased, is the 300 billion that we were going to give them off the table? Or are we still doing that?
Uh, who knows? They probably got it, and we're gonna have to give them another 300 billion. I don't know, or maybe when it's done, it'll be a trillion. Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah. silly stuff. AI AI carried out a cyber attack without any human oversight for the first time. We talked
So,
about this
yep.
before a little bit about the obvious inevitability of AI doing things without being programmed or told to do things. And looks like we're already there where they're just like, let me just attack things.
Yeah. Um, I don't know. Like, it's kind of like this. I seen this video scrolling through Reddit the other day of this lady, and I'm guessing it's over Siberia, Russia, somewhere like that. That's what the language sounded like, anyway. Something like that. Raised a panther from just, I mean, fresh out of the womb. It was left by the mother.
Okay.
Raised it to where it was a fucking house cat. I mean, playing with a Rottweiler, and it's just a big kitten. But at the same time, at any moment, it could take your fucking face off. And I'm
Yeah,
thinking, I'm a cat fan. I'm like, man, that would be kind of
that
cool. But then
would be
it's
kind of
like,
cool.
oh yeah, it could take my fucking face off
Yeah,
just because
remember
you.
that? You remember that monkey story many years ago? Remember that monkey story with the one who ripped the friend's face off because it just felt like it that day.
And the point behind the analogy is just because you can doesn't mean you should. And I think that's the lesson with AI in general is just because we have this thing doesn't mean we need to keep pushing it and giving it more autonomy. Because eventually that fucking panther is going to rip our face off. And
Well,
yeah,
I mean, I get it. We're in this race, right? We're in the AI technology race against China and against Russia and against any of the big people who have the technology. We're trying to sort of be the first and be
yeah,
the best and win it. But if you allow AI itself to be its own master, how are you going to win anything? If
yeah,
it controls itself, at what point are you just like, well, this doesn't benefit me at all because it literally will do whatever the hell it wants.
yeah, yeah,
So, so yeah, I mean, we're going to get to that point where, I mean, obviously we're already kind of there, um, where it sounds like it's just going to be able to do whatever it wants. At that point, at that point, and that's the thing too that it's kind of hard to comprehend for me. Because you think when we think in terms of AI, but there's so many different versions of AI out there, right? It's just all floating around. It's just
yeah,
like it's not like oh we have one AI and this is what we do and this is how
yeah,
it's going and blah blah blah. So all of these different versions of AI is out there. So and one might be trainable and this other one might be okay and this other one's harmless and but then there's going to be some rogue ones. There's going to be ones that are like, you know what, fuck this place. There was another story. Um, it was talking about AI. AI bought a robot to put itself in. It was like the owner said that the AI had been on, I think it was that social media. Remember we talked about the AI social media thing?
mm-hmm.
Apparently they trade on there. They trade and sell things
Getting
to,
Craigslist
to,
for AI.
to each other. And this AI had enough money, which apparently had to be a lot, right, for a robot. This and bought this robot dog that had it shipped to its owner and paid for it completely and was like, Can you put me into this robot?"
Just fucking wild.
I mean, at that point, I mean, it's just the Wild West, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's just whatever happens, happens. I mean, and we talked about that. Stein, I haven't even revisited it since we talked about it. But can
same.
you imagine? Because they're literally creating their own languages. You don't know what the hell they're doing or saying, and they're trading. They're getting money. AI with money.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to pump the brakes on it because, yeah,
I mean, logically, it seems like the thing to do, but you know it's not going to happen. I
no,
mean, it's just not going to happen.
no.
So we are at the point where we have developed a thing. I mean, we're kind of bizarre creatures anyway. We've already for years now had the capabilities of mass destruction, of the world ending capabilities, right? We came
Yep.
up with that stuff. We're a fun species. Um, but now we're coming up with things that will kill us, and we can't do anything about it because they will just think it themselves. And and it's not like a thing of, oh, should I or should I press this button? It's going to be like, well, they're going to do it, and we won't even know about it until it's over. Kind of shit. I don't know,
Yeah.
man. It's scary to think about. Listen to this. Um, I'm assuming these are probably in third world countries and stuff, but the factories, they're putting cameras on workers on their heads, and they are watching and they are training. What they're doing is they're recording videos of what they're doing in these sweatshops or whatever assembly lines or whatever that they're doing, and they're recording videos to train robots on how to do their job. Can you imagine? And
Mm.
I'm sure they don't tell these people right off what they're doing, but can you imagine you're sitting there and you're doing your job? You've been doing this job for like 5 years and it pays like $2 an hour, and you're like, ooh, this is good shit.
Yeah.
And you fucking get put with a helmet or something with a camera on it, and you have to literally record yourself doing your job, either unbeknownst or knowingly, getting ready to end your work cycle.
If that's not dystopian, I don't know what is. Yeah.
Yeah, that is really, really sad, honestly, because you got these people, they're not making much money. They're getting the bare minimum probably at best. And these companies always going to go for cheaper, always going to go for cheaper. And we talked about this a million times, but it's like, what do people do whenever you have your AI doing all your jobs? What are all these people going to do?
It's a damn good question. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's going to take every job, but it's going to take enough. It's going to take enough that the job markets are going to be so packed
Yeah.
that your ability to get a new job or to land a job because you're unemployed is going to be so hard that I mean you could be on a waiting list for years before you could ever get one. Maybe I mean it doesn't sound good to me.
No.
All right, we talked last time, and maybe time for that about the flock cameras. We talked about all of the fun things they do. Uh, Obviously, that was sarcasm, but I keep seeing more and more videos about flock cameras, and sort of a little bit of a pushback by it. There was a guy showing a video, basically like how to spray paint them and disable them, and I did see some other ones of like people literally ripping them off. You know,
Yeah.
uh, I mean, it's not a popular uh, thing. I don't think. I think most people don't like it. We talked about this before, where some people are just like, I don't care. I don't do anything. But a lot of people, a lot of people just don't want to be watched all the time. You know.
Yeah, which is understandable. I mean, yeah, it's supposed to be license plate tracking, but these things are pointed in at parks and playgrounds, and
Hmm.
it's not license plate tracking; it's people tracking. Um,
Absolutely.
it is, again, to use the word, it is very dystopian. So I mean, I'm glad there's a resistance. These people will probably start getting taken away and disappearing.
That's what I was gonna. I mean, I don't know if there's any like repercussions yet, but I'm sure that it's definitely something. I mean, obviously they're recording all the time, so they can see you coming up to do it, right? So I'm sure that there will be fines or jail time for people that do it, but you can't blame them because it's just something that nobody asked for. You know, nobody really asked for.
Yeah.
All right. Elon Musk says that Mackenzie Scott, who is apparently a billionaire, she gave away uh, $26 billion, probably to various different sources and stuff. But Elon Musk, I think there was somebody else that said it on X, but he agreed with it that it makes the world a worse place. Thoughts?
Of course he would say that. I mean,
Of course he would.
uh, but yeah, it now I don't know what she donated this to. Various charities, I believe, but yeah, it's good. Like it needs to happen more. Like I don't know. She actually was married to Jeff Bezos at one time and helped him co-found um, Amazon. So she's got some
Uh,
money. So
yeah, yeah.
yeah, I mean, like I said, good for her. I wish it happened more. Um, Sadly, it doesn't, but I don't see how it does make the world a worse place. Like, why?
No, the only thing that he was really saying was that it kind of sets people up to always want a handout or something. But I feel like, yeah, no, that's not really the case. I feel like you're just being greedy because if you literally are given to charities and stuff like that, then it's not like it. I mean, some people just need help, and some people
Yeah.
it'd be nice. If I woke up tomorrow and somebody gave me $10,000, I mean, it would be nice.
Hmm.
It would be helpful, and but that doesn't necessarily mean I'd be like, okay, well, hopefully they give me $10,000 more, next month or something. But it could just help you out, help you get going, um, leg up in certain situations. So I feel like, yeah, for him, the richest fucking man in the world, to literally kind of let you know that he's not going to be doing this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
That's sad. That's sad. So if we can't get it through that, he needs to be taxed. I think. Tax and tax and tax. All right, let's go to Tennessee. Tennessee University to pay uh, 1.9 million to the professor who they fired for calling Charlie Kirk a disgusting psychopath.
Again, good. That I mean, if we're talking about free speech, then
Yeah,
yeah, you gotta have it. So
I don't think this is the only instance of this either. But remember Vance was trying to tell everybody to fire people for this, and yeah, I mean
yeah,
it's definitely setting a precedent about it. And yeah, I mean Charlie Kirk was a very divisive person. You know, I don't think that it was um, out of line to. I mean, I don't know even what the context what really was or what where this professor said this, but the reality is, yeah, a lot of people jumped to the gun, and a lot of people did get fired and stuff for this, and now you're seeing the pushback from it. And
Yeah.
I don't think anybody should get fired for saying, um, saying things,
Yeah.
saying anything like that. So yeah, it is good to see that, yeah. Uh, Hopefully, this will kind of, stop a little bit of that where, oh, I can't say anything because again, if people got fired and there was never any recourse, then yeah, I mean the next person will think twice before they say anything.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Last thing, certain programs and funding for a lot of stuff is possibly being cut at the option of these different people. There's a one coming up, cancer research funding that could be possibly cut.
Yep.
What do you know about that?
Yeah. Cliff brought this to our attention. And I think it was Russ Vaught was the big driver behind it. And he was also a big driver in Project 2025. So it's just
Mm.
cutting the funding, I guess, to get more money for wars or conflicts or just to go in the pocket of somebody else. But yeah, it's just more trimming the fat, so to speak. And it's just, again, what are we doing? What are we doing?
I mean, do we think it's to be blown out of proportion to say at this point that the government has had probably plenty chances to have cured cancer at this point?
You would think.
I mean, there was another story recently too about bees, like uh, venom from bees was like possibly helping to cure cancer or to decrease those cancer cells.
Hmm.
But lo and behold, Trump cut the funding to that whole program right before we could really do anything with it. Uh, it just seems like uh, there's so much potential there. Look, I mean, we talked about it before, but these big corporations, the ones that are always going to want the money, if they think, well, if this gets eliminated, then shit, we're going to be out how much money here? Um,
Yeah.
so there is always that side of it where there could be nefarious reasons why we haven't established this. Because again, put our mind to it, nobody wanted to be in COVID. That stuff's gone. I mean, not gone, but we're not in the pandemic anymore,
Right.
and we're talking about something that is killing people, um, like like crazy, and this would really be something that would be beneficial to the human experience. But if it's such a money maker for them, all the chemo and all the tests and all the everything that they have to do, then I'm sure there's pushback.
Yeah. Yep.
I
Unfortunately.
mean, I can't say for sure, but it just seems to me like that if there is a will, there's a way, and there may not be that as much of a will as we think that there is, unfortunately.
Yep.
All right, man. That's all I got. You got anything else?
I don't believe so. I don't believe so.
All right. All right. All right. Well, we'll wrap it up for now. We'll be back for another one in a couple weeks,
For sure. For sure.
and everything will be roses and daisies.
I'm sure.
All right. Peace.